In a shocking tale, a cougar was released after 20 years in chains. Here's what happened next. For 2 agonizing decades, a magnificent cougar named Mufasa was subjected to a life of captivity, constantly chained and transported on the back of a truck. Her world confined to a few square meters, she endured unimaginable conditions. Mufasa was a circus performer, forced to entertain the masses with her raw power and grace. Day after day, she was transported from place to place, compelled to perform in public spectacles. It was a lucrative business, but at what cost? Mufasa's existence was reduced to a mere spectacle, her freedom stripped away. She received nothing more than a meager piece of meat and water to sustain her, just enough to keep her alive. Her resilience and will to survive under such harrowing circumstances were nothing short of astonishing. For a year, passionate animal rights activists waged a relentless battle to liberate Mufasa from her chains. Their determination knew no bounds as they fought for her right to live a life of freedom. Their tireless efforts finally paid off, and the day came when Mufasa was set free. However, the transition from captivity to the wild was not an easy one. After years of confinement, Mufasa had lost touch with her natural instincts. To bridge the gap, the activists placed her in a large enclosure nestled deep within the forest. It was their attempt to reintroduce her to a semblance of her natural habitat. But little did they know, Mufasa's journey to freedom was far from over. As Mufasa stepped into the vast enclosure, a mix of emotions washed over her. The once captive cougar cautiously explored her newfound surroundings, her eyes filled with a mix of curiosity and uncertainty. The soft rustling of leaves and the gentle breeze against her fur reminded her of a world she had long forgotten. With each step, Mufasa's muscles began to loosen, her movements becoming more fluid and graceful. It was as if the weight of her chains had been lifted and she could finally breathe. She roamed the enclosure, relishing in the freedom to choose her own path. For a brief moment, Mufasa experienced a taste of the wild, a glimpse of the life she had been denied for so long. Despite the initial exhilaration of freedom, Mufasa soon encountered the harsh realities of the wild. Years of captivity had taken a toll on her instincts and survival skills. The unfamiliar sounds and scents of the forest overwhelmed her, leaving her disoriented and vulnerable. Mufasa's body, weakened by years of confinement, struggled to adapt to the demands of the semi-wild conditions she was in. Disease and ailments plagued her, a cruel reminder of the suffering she had endured. The challenges she faced were insurmountable, and sadly, Mufasa's time in the wild was cut short. Her journey from captivity to freedom ended tragically, leaving us to question the ethics of subjecting animals to such torment for human entertainment. Mufasa's brief taste of freedom left an indelible mark on our hearts. Her journey from captivity to the wild was a bittersweet reminder of the resilience and spirit of these magnificent creatures. We witnessed her struggle to adapt and her valiant efforts to reclaim her place in the natural world. But it was not meant to be. Mufasa's body, worn down by years of captivity and the diseases she acquired, could not withstand the challenges of the wild. Mufasa's story serves as a poignant reminder that animals deserve to live in their natural habitats, free from chains and suffering. Mufasa's tragic passing also raises profound ethical questions about the treatment of animals in captivity. It forces us to confront the harsh reality of exploiting these magnificent creatures for our entertainment. Is it worth subjecting them to a life of chains and confinement, tearing them away from their natural habitats just to satisfy human desires? Mufasa's story is a haunting reminder of the cruelty inflicted upon animals in the name of entertainment. Chained for 20 long years, she endured unimaginable conditions, stripped of her freedom, and reduced to a mere spectacle. Remember, the true measure of our humanity lies in how we treat those who cannot speak for themselves.